Hey guys, today I want to talk about the elitist mindset. But before I get into that, I want to remind you guys once again that this is one of the last videos I will be posting under anaerobics. Very soon, I'm going to switch the name from anaerobics to Old Man Revolution across all social media, including YouTube. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel, make sure that you click on that little bell icon for notifications, and make sure you're not surprised when you start getting videos sent to you from Old Man Revolution. It's still going to be mostly the same content, low carb dieting, weighted calisthenics, etc. However, I'm going to be talking a lot more about motivation, inspiration, mindset, lifestyle, specifically how it applies to the middle-aged guy, 35 to 55 years old, who really wants to design his own life and live that life that he himself designed, as opposed to what society, family, friends, etc. tell him to do. Now, getting back to the elitist mindset, this is one of the cornerstones of the old man revolution mindset. Okay, one of the most important things that anybody could learn in his life to really elevate to the next level in every area of your life. However, it's also very interesting because what most people think of as an elitist could be no further from the truth. Okay, a true elitist is not somebody who, was born with a lot of money, is in the top 1%, and just laughs at everybody that's poor. He's not somebody who makes money on the backs of other people by doing as little as possible and keeping the little man down. He's not the kind of person who, sits on his ass on a sofa all day and is in better shape than somebody else sitting on his ass on a sofa because of luck, genetics, drugs, whatever. And then he laughs at the other people who are fat, even though he doesn't do anything himself. The true elitist is somebody who lives according to this process. He decides what outcome he wants, what he wants to have, be, or do, makes the decision that he will have, be, or do what he wants, and then he works backwards from there and plans in reverse exactly what the perfect path is to get there in the most efficient manner. Now let's contrast that to what most people do. What most people do is they think, I'm in this situation right now, I am willing to do this much. What can I get for the amount that I'm willing to do? Okay. For instance, when I was, 39 and, 3/4 years old or whatever, I was very overweight, very out of shape, very unhealthy, very unhappy. And I decided, come hell or high water, I am going to be absolutely positively ripped to shreds with an absolute washboard stomach by the time I had my 40th birthday. And what I did is, that was my goal. And I stayed up all night researching, my past experiences with, losing weight, just researching in the internet, what supplements, what foods, what macronutrients, what micronutrients, what kind of a workout I needed, and I came up with a 4-month plan to get me there. And at no point did I ever decide, well, I want to be here, but I don't really want to do that much, which is what most people do. Most people think, well, I don't really like going to the gym, but I want to lose weight. I'm not willing to give up wine. I'm not willing to give up beer. I'm not willing to give up pizza. I'm not willing to give up ice cream, but I want to, get in shape. So what can I do? Well, I could probably drop a few pounds and go from being obese to overweight or overweight to normal. That is not an elitist mindset. An elitist mindset is, I want what I want and I'm willing to do whatever it takes, including figuring out whatever it takes to get that. I'm going to give you another example, a financial example. The guy who wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad once said that a poor dad mindset is, I can't afford that. A rich dad mindset is, how can I afford that? Basically, if I say, I can't afford that, you're closing your mind off. You're not even trying to figure out a way to get what you want, and you're automatically disqualifying yourself. You're already taking yourself out of the running. You're taking yourself out of the top 1% and voluntarily putting yourself in the 99% that never achieves what the top 1% does, just by choice. Whereas the rich dad mindset is, hey, that's what I want. How can I afford that? How can I get that? How can I do that? And obviously, by asking a positive question, you are going to get a much more positive answer. So this applies to everything that you want to do. Do you want to send your kids to a certain school? Do you not have the money? Well, instead of thinking to yourself, I'd like to send my kids to that school, but I can't afford it, think to yourself, I want to send my kids to that school. I have so many years until they're old enough to go to that school. How much money do I need to make? And how can I make that money? How can I accumulate that money in this amount of time? And then you go ahead and you decide to do whatever it takes to get there. You want to be in a certain kind of shape. You want to have a certain kind of relationship. You want to have a certain kind of lifestyle, go on certain vacations, go to the best doctors, buy the best clothes, whatever it is that you want. You want to have financial security. You want to live from passive income. Okay, you live from your investments. Just set your goal first and then decide you're willing to do whatever it takes. And like I said, most people think an elitist is somebody who's like, hey, I just think I'm better than everybody else because I got lucky. Okay, I won the lottery. I had rich parents. That's why I'm rich. Whereas, like I said, nothing can be further from the truth. The hardest person that an elitist is on is himself. An elitist expects more from himself or herself than anybody else could possibly expect from him or her. Okay, so that's the difference. And you can basically write your own ticket, okay, in life if you have the elitist mindset. So the bottom line that I'm trying to get to here is, far from being somebody who's not going to do anything and expect everybody else to give him what he wants, okay, that's a narcissist. That's not an elitist, okay? An elitist is somebody who sets extremely high standards for himself, decides what he wants, decides to go after it, and if you want to be with me, you are going to have to follow along my lead. It's like in the Army, we say, like you lead from the front. You do not expect somebody who's working for you to do anything that you cannot or will not or do not do yourself. So, like I said, that's the elitist mindset. Start thinking in those terms. Stop thinking to yourself, this is what I've got. This is my situation. What can I get with that? Because that's what a beggar does. A beggar is basically like, well, I'm fat and out of weight and I'm fat and overweight. What kind of woman can I get being fat and overweight? Okay, I'm fat and lazy and broke. What kind of woman can I get if I'm fat and lazy and broke? I'm broke. Where can I go on vacation if I'm broke? Okay, I'm broke. Where can I live if I'm broke? And what you do is you start with, once again, like in the military, you start reverse planning. This is the goal. This is the mission. The mission is to have a desirable female companion. Now, what kind of a person do I have to become to naturally attract that kind of a woman? Okay, like I said, I myself do not want a woman who doesn't go to the gym, who isn't tan, who's flabby, who's fat, who just eats crap all day. I don't want a woman who is lazy. I don't want a woman who's just like, hairy or just like poorly dressed or doesn't care how she looks and doesn't care how she does her hair. I do not want that, okay? And as opposed to being the kind of person that seeks out women with low self-esteem and says, I'm the man, so I can be fat and hairy, but you need to be perfect, and that's, and then goes after a low self-esteem woman. I go after a woman where it's like, hey, I expect her to take care of herself the way I take care of myself. Everything from my neck down, I have a little bit of stubble, is just completely shaved on my body. I literally shave my toes because I got hairy feet, okay? Constantly, okay? I am constantly going to the gym, constantly going to the solarium and tanning. I'm constantly, eating for my goals. I'm constantly working towards a goal. So, like I said, the elitist mindset doesn't mean what can I get with what I've got? What can I get with the little amount of effort I'm willing to put in? What the elitist basically says is, where do I want to be? What do I have to do to get there? And I am more than willing to do whatever it takes to get to this result. So anyway, like I said, definitely subscribe to the channel. Check for notifications. Expect videos to be coming from Old Man Revolution soon. And like I said, I'm going to be talking a lot more about mindset, as well as technically how to diet, technically how to work out, etc., etc., etc. But I'm also a lot going to be talking about mindset, inspiration, motivation, because that's really where the rubber hits the road. You can know everything in the world, but if you're not willing to actually discipline yourself and motivate yourself to accomplish that, to actually put this plan into motion, none of that stuff really matters at all. Anyway, thanks for the question. Awesome question. Hope you enjoyed the video. A lot more like this coming. Comment below. Let me know what you want me to cover in the future, and expect the Old Man Revolution to be coming soon. I will see you guys in the next video.